Welcome again. Today we are going to start our second topic, design of joints, levers and offset links. So in this particular topic, we are going to study about the design of different joint like quarter joint, knuckle joint, turnbuckle, design of levers, in that hand lever, foot lever, bell crank lever, lever for lever safety valve, and at the end, design of offset links, C clamp, and overhang crank. Now, here, before going to start this particular chapter, there are some basic thing that we must know. In our last chapter, we have seen some kind of stresses like tensile stress, compressive stress, shear stress, again bearing pressure, etc. Now, before starting this design of joints and lever, one more stress, which is bending stress, and next one is torsional stress, that we are going to add here in this chapter and next chapter. So let us have introduction about bending type of stresses. Now this bending type of stresses already you have studied in your strength of material. Look at the picture on the screen. You will find that left side figure is the simply supported beam with centrally loading, and right side figure is a figure of cantilever. Now when we say there is a simply supported beam having some length L and having diameter D subjected to a point load at the center. Now what kind of failure that is expected here, you can see. Now look at the figure. In that you will find that because of the force there is a bending of that particular shaft or beam. So because of the bending, there are two clear-cut points. Point A, which is at the bottom face or bottom surface of that particular beam, and point B is exactly, it is on the top surface and at the point of action of force. So because of this, what will happen? Again, look at the picture, you will find that the force causes compression at the top surface and tension at the bottom surface, and the particular bodies get failed due to compression as well as tension. So there is one line in between this compression and tension. That line indicates neutral surface, and that on that particular neutral surface there is no any stress observed. If you go beyond, or if you go in either side of that neutral axis or neutral surface, above the neutral surface you will find there is increase in the compression and it is maximum at the top. Below that particular line, below that particular center line, if you go in a downward direction, you will find that it is zero at neutral surface and it is maximum at the bottom side. So this is a particular analysis for simply supported beam, or when the beam is subjected to bending like this. It may be a single force or it may be more than one force. The behavior is almost like this. Now look at the second cantilever. If the cantilever is subjected to force F, it bends like this. If there is a bending, again, because of this bending, there are stresses at the top face and at the bottom face. Now look at the picture again. You'll find that if there is a cantilever, on the top surface of the cantilever, you will find tensile type of failure. Whereas at the bottom surface of the cantilever, at the support, you will find the compressive type of stresses. The failure occur in the simply supported beam is maximum possibility of at the center point where the point of application of force is there. Whereas in the cantilever, the failure point is near to the support. Why it is so? That will be clear when we go in detail about the moment and about the different kinds of reactions on that particular beam or shaft. So let us go further. Now we know that the bending equation is given by m upon I equal to sigma upon y equal to E by R. Already we have studied this in our strength of material. Now here, what are these notations or what this M and I called? M is the bending moment acting at a given section. Sigma is the bending stress. I is the area moment of inertia of cross section about the neutral axis. Y is the distance from neutral axis to extreme fiber. E is the Young's modulus of the material and R is the radius of curvature. Now already the moment, bending moment is, it is a multiplication of force into distance from which that moment is taken. Moment of inertia is the area moment of inertia, and that particular cross section on which these stresses are acting. The moment of inertia we are taking from the neutral axis. Why it is from the neutral axis? Just now I have explained. Above the neutral axis, there is a change in the stress from zero value to maximum, which may be compression in case of simply supported beam. It is tension in case of cantilever. Whereas below the neutral axis, the stress is again changed from zero to maximum, and it is maximum at y distance. That distance is distance from neutral axis to extreme fiber. That means here we are going to consider the different moments and its inertia, total moment about the neutral plane, so that you will get the maximum moment of inertia about neutral axis. Now E by R relation is related with Young's modulus and radius of curvature. Now as we here know, our bending stress equation can be written by taking two terms from the above equation. Then sigma b, which is sigma, is equal to m divided by I divided by y. Whereas I divided by y ratio is, we consider it as a z. Z is the section modulus. Now for each and every cross section, the moment of inertia is different, the distance y is different, and the section modulus is also different. So the section modulus for different section, for different cross section, can be found very easily. So you'll find different section modulus depend upon the cross section. This is the table given from one of our reference book. So in that you will find that for rectangular, for square, or for the triangle, if you just take an example of rectangular cross section, you'll find that there is a base B and height H. There is a possibility that the particular section may bend through x-axis axis, which is horizontal, or through y-y axis, which is vertical. Now, how this axis or y-y axis can be fixed? So it depends on how the bending occurs. Now, here you can look at me. If I think that this is the particular machine member and here is the force, because of that there is a bending like this. If I take the bending like this bending is maximum here and maximum here. At the center plane, it is along the neutral axis. So this is the position, we can say this is the moment when we consider x-axis. So if you just look at this is the x-axis axis, cross section. The cross section is x-axis. So that's why we are going to consider Ixx as a moment of inertia equation. Now let us think about how yy work. Instead of force like this, if the force is in this direction, what will happen to this particular beam? It may bend like this. So it will bend like this. You can see. So if this is the bending, so if this is the direction of force and it is bent like this, or in this direction or in this direction. So here also when it bend like this, so this is the maximum and this is the maximum stresses. So if I say force is like this, then it bend like this. If this is bent like this, then here there is a tension, here there is a compression. So that means at that time vertical axis is important. When the vertical axis is important, we have to consider Iyy. That means if the bending is like this, we say that there is a Ixx. If the bending is like this, we say Iyy. For example, this is the case. This is a vertical type of member. Now if the direction of force is like this, it bends like this. So this is the bending in which there is a force in this direction, means there is a tension on this fiber, there is a compression on this fiber when it bends like this. If it bends like this, then exactly opposite occur. Here there is a compression, there is a tension. So this is here we can say that if you just look at from the top side, you will find that there is axis like this. So this axis is y axis. Now let us think about direction of forces like this. It can bend like this or it can bend like this. So if the direction of force is like this, then again we have to consider Ixx. So depend upon how that particular neutral axis is placed, whether the neutral axis is horizontal or whether the neutral axis is vertical. Based on that, we have to consider Ixx or Iyy. When we go in detail about numerical, we'll see in detail. Now, for the rectangular area, base into height is the particular area. The value of moment of inertia is base B into height h cube divided by 12. It may be Ixx or it may be Iyy. In case of Iyy, the base is h and height is B. In case of Ixx, base is B and height is h. So that means depend upon which neutral axis you are going to consider, you have to take cube of depth. Here Ixx, in that depth is h. In case of y axis, the depth is B, so that we consider B cube. Now the distance from neutral axis to the extreme fiber, in case of horizontal x-axis, we consider h by 2. if I consider y as a particular neutral axis, then b by 2 is the extreme distance from neutral axis to extreme fiber. So if I consider I by y, then along the axis section modulus become bh square by 6. Along the y axis it is h b square by 6. Now similar to that, we can consider for the square section. Again, for the square section, it is symmetric about x and y axis. So it is b to the power of 4 divided by 12. The section modulus is b cube by 6. If it is a triangular section, now generally as per as our syllabus is concerned and our limitations are concerned, triangular shaft may or may not ask in our exam, but rectangular and square cross section are very common. Next to that, if I consider section modulus of circular cross section, now in the circular cross section, it is symmetric about XX and YY section. Obviously, the area will be pi by 4 d square, and Ixx or Iyy is equal to pi d to the power of 4 divided by 64. Pi d to the power of 4 divided by 64, d is the diameter of that particular circle. Now if I take I by y, then section modulus zxx or zyy, that will be equal to pi d cube divided by 32. Similar to that, there is a hollow section. In that hollow section, you will find that the section modulus is pi by 32, d to the 4 of nominal diameter or major diameter minus d1 to the power of 4, which is minor diameter, divided by nominal or major diameter. So that is the section modulus of hollow circle. Similar to that, we can consider elliptical also, but elliptical is a special case. If that particular elliptical section is also there, then we can consider that section modulus which is given in our table. So this is all about section modulus. Now again come to our bending. Now here let us take one simple problem, and based on that simple problem we'll try to solve the bending stress equation, and we go for diameter of the axle or whatever asked in our exam in our numerical. So let us I will read the statement of the problem. Let us understand the statement of the problem, and after that we'll try to solve this problem of bending. Now here an axial 1 meter long supported in a bearing, as its end carries a flywheel weighing 30 kilonewton at the center. So there is an axle which is 1 meter long and it is supported in the bearing and subjected to flywheel. Flywheel means it's a centrally applied load which is 30 kilonewton in magnitude. If the stress, now specifically bending stress, is not to exceed 60 megapascal, find the diameter of axle. So here we have to design the axle in such a fashion that it should sustain a load of flywheel. Now here, as this is the problem of axle, we have to consider our bending stress equation. Now first let us see what is the given thing here. In this, the data is given. There is a long 1 meter long means 1000 mm axle. So that is the length. Force of 30 kilonewton, which is 30 into 10 power of 3 newtons. Here the bending stress, permitted bending stress, so it should not exceed, means it is permitted, 60 megapascal is given. Now let us try to go for our equation, bending stress equation. The bending stress equation, which already just now we have discussed, is equal to sigma b is equal to m by z. So m by z is the bending stress equation. In that, the given axle is simply supported with central loading. So this is the condition given. We have to find moment. What is the maximum moment on that particular axle? Because m by z, z means axle is having circular diameter, so we can find the z afterwards. But before that, first thing is try to find moment. Let us first see a simplified diagram of that particular simply supported beam, central loaded. So there is a support A and B, and there is a central loaded load of that particular beam. Now, because of the force F, there are two reactions at support. Consider that RA is the reaction at A and RB is the reaction at A, which is vertically in upward direction. The load is acting in a downward direction. That means when the load is acting in a downward direction, that means your reaction should be at the upward direction. How to find that reaction? Here, possibility is that the bending moment is maximum at the center, where we expect the failure. Failure is at the center point of that particular beam. When it fail at the center, that means we must want the moment at that particular point. When we want moment at the particular point, we must know the moment from that point which is at the either side. So we must know the reaction RA and RB. If I know the reaction or the forces at RA and RB, which are reactive forces, for that, generally in our center of material, we do this procedure. Let us take moment about A. Now, when I take moment about A, all moment at A is 0. There is a anti-clockwise moment of reaction RB, which is L distance from A. So RB into L is one moment, which is equal to opposite side or opposite sign moment, which is because of the force F. Force F is at L2 distance, so RB into L, anti-clockwise moment, which is equal to force multiplied by L by 2 clockwise moment. So these two moments are there when we think about moment about A. Now here we'll put all the values so that we can get the value of RB. Now RB into 1000 is the length of that particular axle. Force is 30 kilonewton, so 30 into 1000 Newton, multiplied by L by 2 is 1000 by 2. So because of that, we got the RB, which is the reaction at A, which is 15 kilonewton or 15,000 Newton. Similarly, if I take complete vertical balance of that particular beam, then we'll find that total vertical force F is equal to reaction at the end RA plus RB. So RA is equal to, force 30,000 is equal to RA plus 15,000. It gives RA equal to 15,000 Newton or 15 kilonewton. So we know the forces. we know the reactive forces at A and B. Now, all the forces in vertical direction that we have, maximum moment will be at the center of the beam where force is acting. Therefore, if I take moment, now if I take the moment at the center, that will be the maximum moment. You can take moment from the left side of the center, or we can take moment from the right side. So to left side we have RA, and to the right side we have RB reaction. Now the moment at the left side will be RA into L by 2 if I take moment at the center, or RB into L by 2, which is one and the same. So moment M, final moment that we can find, is equal to RA, which is 15 kilonewton or 15,000 Newton, into L by 2 distance is 500 mm. So that comes out 7500000 Newton mm as a moment. This moment is the maximum moment, and in our strength of material, we have one simple relationship for the simply supported beam at central loading. So that relation is, you might have studied in the strength of material, maximum moment for simply supported beam is equal to F by L, F L by 4. So F L by 4 is also equal to same as that of we have already find. So it is one and the same. So this is the moment M for simply supported beam. Now if I take this particular moment along with our bending stress equation, you can find the diameter of the axle. So let us go further. Now bending stress is equal to M by Z. We know moment is equal to that already, just now we find. Now let us go for section modulus for the circular beam. So for the circular beam, we know that section modulus equal to pi d to the power cube divided by 32. It is already mentioned in that table that just here we have put for to find the Z. Now here in that particular section modulus, we have our diameter. So that is the main output, or that is the diameter of the axle. So we'll put all the values in the bending stress equation. We know that there is a stress of 60 Newton per mm square which is given. 7500000 Newton mm is the particular bending moment, and pi d cube by 32 is the. So here by mistake 1 0 is left in the moment. You make it correct. It is 7500000. That means there are 5 zeros on 75. So from this equation, diameter we can find, which comes out 108.3 mm exactly. So now we must round off to